ROV, or as Jay pronounces it, ROV. The acronym stands for Remotely Operated Vehicle, and even though it's not stated in the acronym, they're usually underwater vehicles. But then on the other hand, we did build birdhouses in this class, so I don't even know at this point. Now we're on to how these things are controlled. ROVs are most commonly controlled through remote control that is connected to the ROV via a tether. They also usually have a camera on the ROV that is displayed on the controller. After hearing about how these underwater robots are controlled, you're probably wondering, what do people even use these things for? Well, ROVs can do a lot of things. Need samples? ROV. Need your pipes repaired? ROV. Trying to find a dead body? ROV. Girlfriend cheated on you? ROV. However, it's my understanding that there are 4 main types of ROVs for different jobs and tasks. The first one is called a work class ROV. These are used for ocean floor exploration at depths that divers can't reach. It's kind of safer alternative so the divers don't end up like Nemo's mom. This can be used for things like deep archaeological investigations. The second type of ROV is a light work class ROV. It's kind of like the work class ROV, but for more moderate depths. It can fix a ton of issues that people in the field of aquatic science face. Subsea system repair, hydrate issues, a broken marriage, not the last one. The next class is pretty simple. It's called the observation ROV. It's used to explore lakes, rivers, coastal waters, and are often used to test water safety prior to divers entering the water. It's a pretty versatile class. It can be used for a lot. And lastly, we got the micro ROV. Although they are not the biggest ROV, they're still very useful. The micro ROV can be used for shallow water stuff and just inspect little things like pipe systems. Okay, moving on. What are some examples of these ROVs? Well, after doing a bit of research, the first ROV I found was a micro ROV called the Pipe Tracker A200. This ROV is used for pipe inspection. It has a high-definition camera, it's battery operated, and is fully submersible. It has 4 wheels, a camera in the center, and the camera itself can go up and down. Alright, the next ROV I found is called the DTG3 Navigator. This one seems to be a light work class ROV. The depth this ROV goes is 200 meters. The ROV has a lot of cool design features, a precision thruster to help the ROV move up and down, GPS positioning, a 4K camera, and comprehensive sensor integrations. It also uses a 7-inch sunlight readable controller. Yeah, sunlight readable. Definitely didn't just stick a plastic visor on the top, but what do I know? The next one I found is called the Phantom T5. It has 4 vectored horizontal and 1 vertical Technodyne thrusters. According to the website, these thrusters provide significant control and propulsion and current with abundant propulsive force to maneuver aggressively in all directions. Which is pretty cool, but what does it do? So I didn't know at first either, and after 10 minutes of research, I still didn't know. The website said nothing about it. But eventually, I did find out that it can be used for a lot. Most notably, it can be used for evidence recovery and can be used to search for dead bodies. That's right. Pretty crazy. But moving on, the next ROV I found is absolutely enormous, weighing 9,000 pounds. Proving size probably does matter. The Deep Discoverer. It's a work-class ROV capable of diving 6,000 meters. It has 2 manipulator arms for collecting biological and geological samples. And just so you know all the dimensions, they are on the screen. Whew, that's a lot of ROVs. Alright, last one I make simple. This is the H800 ROV. This is what it looks like. It's a light work class / observation ROV. It can help explore things like shipwrecks. It has 6 direct current thrusters. It's compact, high performance, and similar to every other website, it makes the ROV sound like the best thing since sliced bread. Cool. Moving on. Now let's talk about career opportunities. The first, and I guess most cliche career, is a marine biologist. Think like a regular biologist, but with water. More specifically though, they can protect, observe, and or manage marine organisms. There are obviously different types with different titles. It's a very general job title, kind of like a doctor. There are many types of doctors, the same way there are different types of marine biologists. The next career is a hydrologist. This one is pretty obvious since hydro clearly means water, and ologist is the term they stick on the back of any science career to make it sound sciencey. Well, if that was your guess, then you'd be right. It's basically just a study of water. They study things like how water moves through the Earth's crust and how rain affects the river's movements. Don't worry, I'm almost done. The last career I want to talk about is an environmental protection worker. This one's pretty cool because you get to be just like the Lorax, but you're actually legally sanctioned. Unlike the actual Lorax, however, you will not just be talking to trees, but are going to be speaking for the environment in general, and doing so for around 110K, at least according to federalpay.com, that is. More specifically, an environmental protection worker prevents harm to aquatic species and ecosystems using science, laws, and by educating the public. Well, I hope you learned a lot about ROVs, or maybe at least one of these jokes hit, but if it was just awkward silence, then that's okay too. Thanks for listening.